is another Third Strike Productions showing of the Welp reviews. We are here today. I'm your host, Juicy Mama, and I'm here with my special guest,
Juicy J.
Juicy fucking J, you guys. J. So as you guys know, Welp Reviews is about when instead of the customer reviewing a business, a server, something, you know what I mean? We're here to review our times working in the industry or any industry about shitty customers, but also maybe some even shitty coworkers. You know what I'm saying? Jay.
Yeah.
Take it away. Tell me about the times that you've had in the industry doing whatever. Start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning. My first job, I worked at a restaurant as the host.
Wow.
At a little place. I don't think I should say the real name. At a restaurant.
Right.
I should not dox them. It was cool. I was the host. I was 16. And it was a pretty shitty restaurant. It was pretty bad, but we didn't have to deal with too many weird customers. I had one coworker who was older than me, who was she was 22 and she was hot, and we all knew that she was hot. And then one time she slapped me on the ass, and at the time I was like, that's pretty cool. And then in hindsight, I'm like, that was not that cool.
That was actually illegal.
Yeah.
Some would say.
Some would call that harassment.
Some would call that harassment.
But I was like, ooh, I'm a grown up. Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We all had that moment too, where when we were 15 or 16, working in a restaurant, and then the older people were always the people in college, 21 or 22.
Yeah. And you were but it was you're like, oh, they're cool because they want to talk to me. And they're like, oh no, they're not cool. Those people are not cool. Oh,
they're actually not cool. They're fucking weirdos. Yeah, I had that happen to me when I was working at this high-end grocery store. I don't even know. It was an East Coast Erewhon, I guess, which doesn't really exist, but I guess it does in my small little town.
Yeah, it'd be what, Sprouts? I don't even know what the equivalent would be.
It was called, and it was a little Irish owned base, and I had a coworker named, I guess I can't really say that name, but oh my God. Also, did you ever do Peter Answers online?
No, what is that?
You would go to peteranswers.com and you would type in a question. You'd be like, Peter, what did I eat for breakfast this morning? And sometimes it would give you a message and you didn't know. And be like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. The whole point of Peter's Answers was someone else would answer the questions in the same house. So if I remember I typed in, I was like, who's my 5th grade teacher? And then it responded, Mrs. Abato. And I lost my fucking mind. The whole thing is Peter leaves a curse on you or something.
Wait, what? So it's people in your house? People,
the whole thing is it's supposed to be a prank that someone else pulls on you, but you don't know about it. And then they do it and it's so fucking scary. And I literally remember I was like, I need to call the police. I don't know who this Peter is. This is so scary. It was fucking jarring.
Yeah, you were like, Peter's a fucking stalker. He's
Peter's a stalker. I was fucking 12 at the time, and I was he knows my 5th grade teacher. It was so crazy. Meanwhile, it's my fucking friend just in the other room, and I was like, how did I not realize that when he was not here that was happening?
Was it? Wait, so it was you guys were hanging out and he's like, I'm gonna go to the other room.
Yeah,
with
he
my
was just
computer real quick.
You need to do this website. Please look at this. It's so crazy. And then he would just leave the room and I'd be like, how does it know everything? I was asking shit and it knew. It was crazy.
I love that. He barely even tried to hide the prank. He was just like, I'm gonna trust that you will believe in this enough that I don't even have to there's no excuse. I'm just gonna leave.
And I believed it. Yeah. Wholeheartedly.
If I had a friend named, I'd believe him too. I never had a growing up.
Became the white rapper of our town.
Oh, really?
With dreads and everything.
Oh, wow.
And he was the plug at one point or another for all of us.
They always are.
So I have to give a shout out. And anytime we went over, his dad was like, you guys want some grilled cheese? And he would just cook us grilled cheeses and they'd be so amazing. And I would be eating my grilled cheese while I'm messaging Peter Answers, scared as shit.
Wow.
It was fucking scary.
Damn.
Yeah. But the reason I brought that was I had a coworker named who was so cool and funny, and I always thought he was so silly, and we worked together behind the counter, be like, you're so fucking funny. And then the day I turned 18, he was like, so it's time we start talking about some serious things between us. And I was like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
See, that's actually creepier than the real Peter Answers.
That honestly, yeah, I mean, Peter of the Marketplace was really in the prepared foods department, I might add. That was some scary times.
I would not want that man near my prepared foods.
No, dude. Prepared foods was some crazy shit. I honestly, working in a fucking grocery. Have you ever worked in a grocery store?
I never have. No.
Was your first job working at a restaurant?
Yeah, I worked at the Bleep, and
Right.
I did that for like 9 months. And actually, the thing that sucked the most about that job was it was my friend's mom who got me the job, and she was a server there, and she would always be like going up to me and be like, "Hey, why don't you give me a table?" And I'd be like, "I can't. Like, we just sat the other."
That's so weird.
Like, I just sat you. You're also like, she would be serving the section that only had high tops or like 6 tops, and it's like, yeah, that sucks, but it's like I can't put a 2 top at like a 6-person. I'm not allowed to do that, and she knows that. But it was like this weird like implicit pressure of like, but I got you the job, and I was like, yeah, but I can't then do the job shitty because you helped me. You know what I mean?
Wow. I also forgot how much power hosts hold within a restaurant.
Yeah, it's true. It's
really crazy. You could genuinely make or break someone that night. Like someone could go into the walk-in and like just lose their fucking mind for 5 minutes over the fact that you placed 3 people in their section.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that. I was like, oh, I'm like a punk kid in a fucking button down. I don't know anything. But then this woman was like, you know, in her 50s, like had a child, had like a whole ass life, and was like, yeah, basically I had to go to this 16-year-old punk and be like, hey, can you give me money for my family to eat tonight?
Right?
And I'm like, oh, I actually can't because I don't want to break the rules.
You're like, I play it by the rules, babe.
I'm like, pick up some Easy Mac. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Hamburger helper, babe.
It's a hamburger helper night. You're working 6 tops. It's a hamburger helper night.
Exactly. I remember when I first started working in the restaurant industry and I was a host, and I worked in this restaurant in Philly, and the amount of people that came up to me just like screaming at me, they're like, you have to stop seating me. And at the time I was like, I don't understand the problem. Am I not making you money?
Right.
Like, I thought I was helping you. I always I never said corner or anything. And there's this one time this woman was like walking with like a whole tray of glassware, and I cut the corner and knocked everything out of her hand. It's filled with drinks, by the way. It wasn't just like empty glassware. I should have prefaced that I prefaced it incorrectly. She was carrying a tray for like a big party,
like actual
of
drinks.
Cocktails, and I just everywhere, dude.
Wow.
And she's like, why don't you say corner? And I'm like, what corner is there? Yeah. And then I realized the restaurant lingo, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You're like, you're dumb. There's no corner.
There's no corner, dude. Yeah. Like, you're so dumb. Why didn't you say anything when we were going around this bend? And she's like, that was the whole point.
If I was a career server, I would have hated me. That's what I'm realizing telling this story. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I would have seen little 16-year-old me. I would be like, I want to shake you by the collars. Give me a table.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think any career server would hate me just in general. Even at this point in my career, would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and I think I was also like, I was very obvious. I was like, yeah, I'm doing this for after school money, but I don't need this. You know what I mean? It was like very like,
oh, and throwing it in their face
I didn't say that, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm like there.
No, but you were stunting on them like you were.
It was. I don't even think I was stunting on them, but I think I just had this attitude of like, oh yeah, this is my high school job, whatever. And they're like, this is my career. Like, this is how I pay for my bills, you piece of shit.
God, my high school job was a gas station.
Really?
Yeah.
What gas station?
Really terrible. It was called and
that's a bad gas station.
It was, well, they went out of business, but it was run by a bunch of Trump supporters, and they were so dumb and vehemently racist. And they didn't, and it was so illegal for me to work 12-hour days selling cigarettes and selling lottery tickets to people. Yeah, just so illegal. And it was crazy. And I loved, the only thing I really liked about it, I think I told you about it, my coworker who was just like this little man, his name was Bill, and anytime he stubbed his foot or hit an inanimate object, he, you fucking whore, just said that shit. And,
you slutty little nail.
Say profanities. Meanwhile, I'd be helping a guest at the front, being like, okay, your bill's $1,000, and fuck you, bitch. Just don't worry about him. He's the one that fixed your car. It's fine. Bill knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I was a host at a restaurant later on in college, and we had this one server who she was able to serve, if she was actually serving a table, she could kind of she had a thin facade that she could hide the rage behind. But anytime that she had to interact with a customer who wasn't hers, who didn't directly affect her money, it was it would just bubble over, and you could see her seething behind this mask, where she'd be like, are you guys enjoying the food? Yeah, because we were, it's just you've been at this table for a pretty long time. We're like, okay, all right, that's enough. You need to go.
No
you need to walk away
way.
now, please. Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Waiting, where the one waitress she'll like go to the table like, "How is everything, you guys? Is it good?" And then she'll turn the corner and like immediately her face just drops.
Yeah.
She slams us. She's like, "How the fuck did you order fucking pasta when you have a gluten allergy and shit?" It's just like, oh my god.
She was like the most like she hated people. Like after like she would finish serving someone and be like, "I fucking hope they die. I hate them so much."
To be honest, sometimes when you're serving the public like that and it's constant like dumb shittery.
Oh yeah.
It's miraculous the things that people will say. And I'm just like, how did you get to this point in your life?
I feel like your threshold for wishing death upon a stranger decreases dramatically when you work in any kind of customer service job. You're you asked for an extra sauce? I hope your family fucking dies tomorrow.
Oh, you want salt? I hope you run into traffic.
I hope your skull falls out of your head and you just have like a jelly head.
Could you imagine the visual of like Osmosis Jones like just like walking around the street like that? That's disgusting.
It's actually really gross. Yeah. But I hope it happens to some people.
Yeah, because some people are fucking dickheads.
Some people need to get osmosis.
Some people need to get osmosis. Did you deal with more shitty customers or coworkers?
I feel like throughout my entire working life, I've dealt with more shitty coworkers than customers. Because the customers, I'm like, well, they're all dumb. They're all idiots. It doesn't matter who they are. They're all stupid.
For sure. All
and at a certain point, it's like it's like getting mad at children. You're like, well, it's not their fault. They're idiots. They don't know anything.
It feels like you're dealing with toddlers.
Their brains are
smooth brains.
And you can get angry at them, but it's like, you're like yelling at a wall. They don't understand anything. Yeah. They're like, oh, I wanted this table. And you're like, oh, it's actually reserved. And like, but I really want it. And I'm like, you know what a reservation, I know you know what that concept is, but they can't grasp it. They just can't, they're just too stupid. So you can't, for me, I was like, I never got that mad at them. There was shit I would deal with that was really annoying. Like I was a tour guide in college too. And I remember like I had to work the call center sometimes and you would get these just in like such asinine requests. We had this one call in. No, I think it was a dude. He called in and he was like, "Oh yeah, what are the majors that your school offers?" And I said, "Well, we have over 140. I can send you a webpage. We can take a look at all of them." And he goes, "Well, what are the majors?" And I was like, "We have many departments. We've got, you could go to the School of Education or the School of Media Studies. I'm happy to send you a link." He's like, "Can you just tell me what the majors are?" And I was like, You want me to read off of all 140 majors to you right now? He's like, yeah. He's like, I was like, no, sir, I'm not going to do that.
No,
I'm not going to do that.
Fucking.
And he was
way.
like shocked that I wouldn't do that. That wouldn't be a thing I would be like down.
I'm sure he got so fucking pissed on the other end. He's like, well, what I don't understand. And it's like, babe, how much time do you have? Like, were you expecting this call? When I make a phone call like that, I need one question, one answer.
He wasn't even mad. He was like resigned. It was like a dude who really, it felt like he was like, all right, I want to go to college. Here's what I'll do. I'll call the place. I'll ask them the majors. And I told him that I wouldn't tell him the majors. And he was like, I guess that's it. I guess I'm not going to college. Like it felt like that. There was that level of resignation in his voice of like, it's over for me. I can't recover from this.
No, there's not. That is not. Are you for real?
He seemed really sad. I don't know.
Really put down he was really put off by the fact that you wouldn't tell him the college majors.
I think I I jaded him on college.
Do you think you made her it was a make or break moment for him? And I think you broke him a little bit.
I think that was a canon event. I think I changed the course of that young man's life. And I hope he learned how to use Google Chrome and figured out that he could just go to our fucking website that had all the majors. But if not, maybe college wasn't for him. If I'm being real, it's not for everybody.
Given the context clues of everything, it sounds like he does not have critical thinking skills, which a lot of people...
Yeah.
Common sense is not common. I will say that. People do not have critical thinking skills. The amount of things that you could use Google so often. In fact, I implore people to use Google more because so many of your questions would be answered from just using that fucking... Use the internet.
Even Peter answers something.
Even Peter knew things that probably shouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But Peter Answers, that was a website.
If you play Peter Answers with your smarter friend, you could get to the bottom of some things. You know?
Ooh, I didn't even think about it like that. You take your
smartest friend and you're like, let's play Peter Answers. And then you just ask some questions that you've always wanted to ask but have been too afraid to ask.
Wow.
You know? You're just like, hey... What is
osteoporosis?
What is osteoporosis?
What is osteoporosis?
Explain left and right to me. You know, things like that.
Have you thought about that? Explaining left to right?
I have thought about this actually, because I was thinking about this the other day, because I was like, it is kind of a weird concept to like wrap your head around. Like if as an adult, if I grew to adulthood and never learned left and right, and then you tried to teach it to me, I would struggle with it. It would be tough. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't left and right, what would, I guess, yeah. I can't look at it from the, okay.
Here's what would confuse me. Here's what, because I remember as a kid, I was like, it took me a second to grasp, like, okay, that item is to my right, it's to my left. But then if I turn over here, now it's to my right? Like to me, I was like, once it's, because like any other adjective, right? If you say like, oh, it's a red bottle, it's a yellow bottle. If I turn this way, it's still a yellow bottle. But with left and right, all of a sudden, it's got a whole new adjective. And I'm like, I don't know, just because I moved, it changed. You know what I mean? That was a thing that took a little bit.
Wait, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking right. It's also like when people are telling you like, make your right, but make my left, like that shit fucks me up even to this day. I'm like, what do you mean make, like what? Why can't there just be one definitive answer? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I always thought the thing that was super helpful was like the left going this way. And that's why sometimes I'd be like, why can't people just fucking understand? But now I'm realizing maybe it is more of a complicated concept than I want it to believe.
And then they introduce mirrors into the equation. And mirrors are baffling. I don't know about you. I still am confused by mirrors sometimes.
I don't know what they're made out of. Rocks?
I don't know either.
Are mirrors made out of rocks?
Glass? Some kind of glass?
But at the end of the day, what is glass made out of?
We can't put this out because I'm realizing how dumb I am in this moment.
No,
you know what I mean?
This is gold.
I'm realizing I don't understand a lot of things.
At least you're not calling someone asking them to name all the majors at a university.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
Yeah, it could be.
We're
worse.
asking the right questions that people need to be talking about.
What are mirrors made out of? Pull up Peter answers. Let's
Do you think Peter would know?
Peter would be like, I don't know what mirrors are made out of, but I know your fifth grade teacher. That's all he knows, actually.
That he'd be like, Mrs. Abato, and this is what she's up to. And I'm like, that's actually not what I care about right now.
That would actually be psychotic if he knew what she was up to now.
You know, I haven't used like Corey's on some shit, but I have not used that website since that day because I was afraid that anything could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how jarring is that?
Why do white rappers always have such white names? You would think it would be the ones that have like, you know what I mean? It's always like a Corey. It's like they're like, I need to get into rap. But
it's also so funny because like white rappers will always have the most intense stage names.
Yeah. What's I don't know if you can say.
I don't even remember what his stage name was, but I remember like my friend was talking to this one guy and his name was something like what's like a really strong name? Like it was like Tornado Ice or something.
Right, yeah.
And his name is like Steven.
Yeah.
Or something.
Right,
but like it was like a more punchy name. And I remember being like, why the fuck would someone go by that? What's his real name? And she'd be like, David. And I'm like, well, no wonder he doesn't want to go by David. Like what kind of name is that on stage?
I remember my brother, when he was in high school, he told me there's this kid, they were introducing themselves on like the baseball team. Everyone's going around being like, oh, I'm John and whatever. And this one kid was like, my name is Julian, but you can call me Blade. And I was like, don't do this, man. Blade.
But that's kind of tight. I'm not gonna lie. Blade. That's kind of a cunt name.
For like a 15-year-old greasy, pimply little like teenager?
He knew who he was before anyone else did.
Maybe. I think Julian now works an office job. And
do you think he still goes by Blade?
I think he looks at his yearbook photo where he wrote Blade on it and is like, fuck me. I wish I hadn't done this. This is just in the book now. You know what I mean?
Do you think he signs his emails like with like a little Blade innuendo or something?
I like to think he has a regular email signature and then below that it says, but you can call me Blade.
That's honestly, I kind of want to do that with Juicy Mama.
Yeah.
Where I sign it as Juicy Mama, but then I'll be like, but it's also Meg. You know what I mean?
Like flip it. Yeah,
instead of the other, right? Because it's like if I sign it Meg and I say but Juicy Mama, it's not as powerful. Mm-hmm. And also, a lot of people don't know me by my name anymore.
I think that's cool. I think you embrace it.
I do embrace it because I think it's just such a powerful thing. Because people will be like Juicy Mama, but they'll be like Meg, and they'll be like, who the fuck is that? I'm also curious about the other things that you've done that have revolves around weird coworkers.
Oh yeah, okay. So here's what I was thinking about before I came here. Just trying to prepare, trying to study up.
For the Welp reviews?
Yeah, I was in the library for hours. I had one where I was like, I was working as an intern. I had an internship at this TV station, and I remember the first day I got there, like before I said, like I really got there, and the receptionist was like, "Go to security immediately," because they need to get your ID. You have like a key card, right? So I go to the security guy's office, and the other interns are there. None of us have introduced each other. None of us have spoken. And he just starts talking at us. He's like, okay, I need to take your photos against this wall, and I'm going to put it on the computer, and I'm going to print out your IDs. And we're like, oh, yeah. So we each take our turns getting the photo done. It's a bad photo. It's like fluorescent lighting and terrible.
Terrible, like the DMV.
Yeah, and then he takes the SD card out. He puts it in the computer, and he's typing away for a while. And then all of a sudden, without saying anything to us, he just goes, oh, no. Oh, no. That's not good. That's not good. And me and the other interns are like, and we're looking at each other because we don't know, we can't say anything.
Right.
He's, oh no. Oh no. And he does that for like a couple of minutes. And then he just
kept saying it over and over again.
Yeah, and then he just printed it out and was like, all right, here's your IDs. He didn't say anything about like what was happening. He never explained it at all.
That's so fucking funny.
It was, and I feel like it's gonna come off like I'm exaggerating the voice. I'm really not. That's how he said it.
I imagine that's exactly how that happened.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Were you just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
We were all like, what's happening? Like we were looking at each other, but we didn't know, we didn't have any kind of rapport yet. So it wasn't like we could say, because we just met.
Yeah.
But it was very weird. And that guy ended up he was a really strange person in general. There was one time where one of my coworkers came in and it was raining that day. So she had an umbrella and she left it in the break room and then it was gone when she came back. So she went to the security guard. She's like, hey, is there an umbrella in the lost and found? And he goes, no, there's no umbrellas, but you can borrow mine if you want to. And she's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then she told me later she used it to go on her lunch break. And she was like, yeah, but I had to stop using it. And I was like, why? And she goes, some kind of animal had clearly urinated on it, and it reeked and it was stained, and I couldn't use it. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my God. Who the fuck? That's fucking foul. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just over and over.
And then he did this thing. It was like a summer internship, and every day he was like, oh, it's security summer, and he was like trying to do security tips every day of the work week. It was like every day there's a new security tip. But he very quickly ran out of security tips. It started out being like, oh yeah, like if you're walking to your car late at night, have someone walk with you, stuff like that. Eventually he ran out and it became things like, every hour, take a walk for 5 minutes and I'm like, this is a good tip, man. It's not security. Eventually you'd be like, oh yeah, if you're sick, stay home. You might get someone sick. I'm like, I don't think this is your purview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he just clearly had not thought the idea through and been like, yeah, there's maybe like 20 security tips you can really give a person before you're kind of like,
before you're sort of just like fishing for just like random shit
what
to
is there left to say? What is this even? Security of what? My body? I don't know.
Was it security of just like walking around and like just like existing?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, weird guy. Very strange man. I hope he's doing okay. I really, after the animal urine thing, I really was concerned for him. Oh no.
Oh no.
And then that was actually when I started working at a restaurant, that became like a catchphrase where I would just say that if I was like feeling overwhelmed. And then everyone in the restaurant started saying it as like a thing. And so we have customers in there just watching us be like, oh no, just like running around the restaurant.
Wait, we had something similar with that, with a phrase like that too, where there was this one time where I worked at a really, really busy restaurant in Philly. It was like, I think the second highest grossing restaurant. It was like busy as fuck all the time. And I just started serving and I had this big ass section outside, first nice day of the year. Me and my friend are outside. And there was a point where we were so overwhelmed and like so stressed out where she was like on the machine. And like, she was so like, not like clearly stressed out, but just stoked. And she's like, Meg, something really bad is happening. Meg, something really bad is happening. And she just kept saying it over and over again. I was like, what's happening? Like, how can I help you? She's like, Meg, something really fucking bad is happening. And so then we got to the point where we would just start all saying that in the restaurant. Like if something bad was happening, we were just, something really bad's happening.
I like that.
And that was just like a chill. That was like our, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's not good.
I have a feeling that if a guest heard you say, oh no, it's like arguably worse than what we were saying. Where they're just like, what the fuck is going on?
It's also, it's like you just had a normal conversation with me, and then now I'm like talking in a middle-aged man's voice for some reason.
Oh my God.
And I'm screaming as I'm running around. You know what I mean?
So recently we've been getting a lot of reviews about how the customers can overhear the server's conversations, and they're all literally about me because I will literally go to a table like, oh my God, yes, of course, I am going to write that you have this allergy. I'm going to let the kitchen know and the system know. And then it's like, I will literally just turn around and be like, oh my God, you guys. And he had the biggest cock I've ever seen in my life. And like literally all my tables can hear this. is. And so multiple people have written reviews where they're like, yes, some servers, you know, they're really good at their job, but just, oh my God, the conversations they have on the clock is crazy.
That's awesome. I love that like you're like an ostrich. You're like, I can't see them, they can't see me. I can just say whatever. You know?
Oh yeah, and I do not give a fuck.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because like they get a little taste of juicy mama tableside, but like as soon as I'm like with my girls and we're just like, you know, giggling and shit, like I have to tell them what's going on.
I would be like, oh, dinner and a show. Like this is great. I would love to overhear the body talk.
Some people love it, and some people like love to chime in. Other people are so just like, you know what, we're gonna get our bill and we're gonna go. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I guess if I was there on like an anniversary, I would now want to hear about like the servers like
sucking cock.
Sucking thick chodes or whatever, you know.
Who is sucking thick chodes? That was crazy.
I'm not saying you're sucking chodes. I'm just saying a server in general.
Chodes?
Are you? I mean,
that's on the lowest of the totem pole of what or not totem pole, but my scale.
Wait, that's lowest?
Chodes?
That's lower than like micro penis?
Chodes are pretty bad.
But really?
Chodes are bad. What do you think a chode is?
Chode is when it's wider than it is tall, right?
Chode is small and wide.
Oh.
So chode is almost like...
I thought it would be like, well, it's small, but at least it's wide.
No.
Oh, no?
Chode is like itty bitty, but still wide. But it's like, what is that even going to really do? You know, it's just bulbous at that point.
Oh.
It's just a little bulbous.
You know what? Yeah, that makes more sense. I was thinking of it as like, yeah, I get what you're saying. That doesn't sound good. Then it's like a little, like a little mushroom.
It's
just kind of.
Oh, what a terrible visual.
I just what came to mind.
Oh God. A little mushroom, but that's an accurate description of what and you know what? A lot of people have a different definition of what chode is.
Have you seen one? IRL?
Have I seen a chode? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Sadly. And you have to like play it cool and be like, oh.
What do you do? Flick it? I mean, how do you even...
No, I mean, I actually have this whole story about when I was hooking up with this guy and it was so bad. The whole date was terrible, everything. But this was back when I was deeply insecure and I was just like, I just want to hook up with someone to hook up with someone. And when it came to the point of sucking him, I didn't really have to do much. Instead of, all I had to do was go, eat. It was the smallest.
He was like, whoa, you can take the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. And he was like, you're so good at it. You know, I'm literally just going like.
Yeah, right. You're like, I don't even have to move. There's no forward or backward motion.
There's no forward or back motion. It's all in the lips.
Yeah, right.
It was all in me moving my lips. It was crazy. It was such a bad day. And then literally I remember him being like, isn't this the best dick you've ever had in your life? And I was like, well, dick is a bit of a...
Yeah, right. You're being generous.
You're being really generous, Sarah. That was crazy. That was my one fateful encounter with a chode.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I've had some really, really wild interactions.
Yeah. I have one other coworker story I did want to share.
Right. Let's not be talking about cock on screen anymore. But we have to.
I mean, look. We go where the conversation flows.
No, I know it's so goofy. But no more chodes. No more chodes.
We're back to the mission statement of this podcast.
Right. Welp reviews.
I had this one coworker. I was working on a very popular singing reality TV show. I could just say, right?
We can bleep.
I don't know why I'm so worried about this. No one's gonna hear this, or at least no one from the show is gonna hear this. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Oh no!
That's not good.
That's not good.
No, I was working on. I did a little brief stint as a PA on the, and I had this one coworker. We'll call her Tracy. And Tracy...
That's the thing you bleep out. You say the name of the show and give her a fake name.
Yeah, what?
That's so fun. Never, keep me going.
All right.
Tracy?
Tracy, yeah.
I love it. That's a great name.
She was very nice, but it was like one of those things where when you work in the entertainment industry, I think there's people... Like, I think people in general are like, oh, TV is magical, or like TV is like this incredible thing and it's very glamorous. But when you're a PA on like this big-ass reality show, you're really not doing anything. Like our job was to walk the contestants to the bathroom, and then from the bathroom back to the area where they perform. Like that was 90% of my job. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be working on a TV show. I'm happy to be employed and whatever, but it's not like glamorous really. But she was like, it felt like she had walked off the set of the movie La La Land and just never broke character, where she was just like, we're in Hollywood, the lights, the cities, you know what I mean? Like she would say stuff like, there was one time we were filming an episode, and one of the contestants, it was, she got picked by Reba, and Reba has a song called Fancy or something like that. And so the contestant, after she got picked, was like, this is your one chance, Reba, don't let me down, which is a reference to the song. And Tracy turns to me and she goes, did you see that? Did you see that joke that she just made? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, perfect TV magic. I was like, what are you? Who says that?
But don't you admire her for that?
In a way, I'm like,
her life must be magical.
That's
like genuinely magical.
Because I'm not even an unhappy person, I would say. Like I think I'm a fairly happy person, but I'm like, I will never be that happy. I'll never be able to just like be at my job and experience like euphoria like that.
It's just like bliss.
Yeah.
Like she's experiencing pure bliss.
Yeah.
In an industry that is notoriously known for being so terrible and abusive.
Yeah, it's true.
But she's having the best time.
It is. I did hate working with her though. I will say, because I mean, not even because of that. It was like she was. So all right, let me give you some more background that will maybe fill in. So the first day I met her, right, we go to Crafty to eat lunch, you know, as one does, whatever.
As one does on set.
And we sit down at the table, and I picked a seat at random. I did not have any intention in mind where I sat, but I sat down. And she goes, "Oh, you chose the seat of power." And I was like, what do you mean? What does that mean? She goes, anytime I go out with my boyfriend, I make him sit in the seat of power. And that's the seat where you can see the entrance to the restaurant. And so that way, if anything bad happens, he can protect me because he'll see it before it comes in, you know?
If a gunman comes in the building, I am running.
No, what I said was, I was like, Tracy, if a gunman comes into the Crafty area, I'm going to hide under the table.
I'm gonna run.
I'm not saving you. I don't know what to tell you. And she was mad. Like, she was like, oh, okay. And I was like,
she's like, you got bestowed the seat of power and you're not going to protect me?
She's like, with great power comes great responsibility.
From an AK-47? How fucking dare you?
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm going to fucking duck. I don't have power. I'm not bulletproof. I'm going to die.
Yeah, you're going to fucking babe, that's actually not how that works. And honestly, I feel like maybe her boyfriend planted that in her head where it's like, this is the seat of power. This is where I need to sit and you need to just like rock with it.
I think she was right wing, but like was very shy about it. So it could have been some weird gender thing that she had to bring.
It must have been.
She had weird stuff. Like I was like, oh, how long you been with your boyfriend? She's like, oh, we've been together a year, and yeah, he buys me stuff. And I was like, okay, that's not what I asked. But
that was not the question.
Yeah, I think she had some weird hangups with like, well, he's the man, so he protects me like a little baby, and he buys me things. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, but also, if a guy has a gun, I don't know what to tell you. I can't do anything about that. There's nothing I can do
to protect you. I will have been running by the point that you are processing the fact that I'm not in the chair of power anymore.
The other thing was that while we were eating lunch, she explained to me that she had really severe ADHD, which that sucks. But she was like, oh, I can't get any medication because there was like a Ritalin shortage at the time or something. But then during the shoot, I don't know if this was to supplement or what, but I think like to try to counterbalance, she just drank a shit ton of coffee and would eat candy all day. And so she was like really hyper all the time. And then but the thing was, she would insist on eating the candy. She couldn't just eat it. She insisted on throwing it up in the air and catching it in her mouth every time. Not like every now and then, oh, we'll spice it up. Like every single piece of candy had to be thrown in the air and she would have to catch it with her mouth. But we were on a sound stage and it was often very dark, so she would miss a lot. And then she would just be on all fours, like scrounging around for like loose M&Ms that she had dropped. And I had to be like, we're doing a job, right? Like, you need to stop doing that. We're working.
We're literally working. Meanwhile, she like finds one of the M&Ms and then retries it again.
Yeah, right. She's like, well,
she's like, well, shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, she was crazy. She's also super religious. She would do prayers on set. And I told her, and she asked me, she's like, do you want to join our prayer? I was like, nah, I'm good. And then she took that personally. And anytime she was praying on set, she would be like, oh, I guess you have a problem with this. And I was like, no, I just think it's weird.
Don't do this.
We're at a job. This is like, we get paid to be here. It's weird to pray right now.
Yeah.
Do you not get that it's strange that you're praying on this soundstage right now? That's weird.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you need to go take those people to the bathroom. Stop praying.
Yeah, that's so. But honestly, maybe she was holding it down for you guys.
No.
Okay, yeah, fair.
No. No. She really wasn't. She was really bad at her job. But there was another. Okay, this is the last one about Tracy. I gotta leave Tracy alone. But there was one time.
I'm loving it.
There's one time we got told we had to go to the legal department because there's a legal department there The Voice is crazy. There was a legal department that was on set because sometimes the contestants would get really mad about not getting picked for a team, and they would like threaten to sue or shit like that. So they would have to take them to legal to explain to them like, no, you have no legal rights here. Sorry. And so one time we got a text being like, you're helping out in the legal department this afternoon. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I guess we're going over there. And Tracy comes up to me in a panic. She's like, oh my God, like we have to report to legal. Do you think we're getting fired? And I was like, no, I think we just have to help out with the legal team. I don't think it's a big deal. And she goes, oh, good. I thought I was going to get fired because of my sheath. And I was like, what do you have a sheath? What do you mean? And she points down, and her sheath, what she means by that is she's folded up a paper plate into like a container, and she has a piece of pizza sitting on her I'm not making this up. In the paper plate, which is taped to her shirt. No, actually, she was wearing a blazer. I forgot. She wore a blazer every day. I was like, we're PAs. You can wear a shirt. It's okay. But she had a blazer, and she had a pizza strapped to her person. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, yeah, it's my sheath. It's my pizza sword. And she pulled it out, and she was like, ah. And I was like, what are you doing? What is happening to you? What is going on with you?
I don't even, like, part of me really admires this girl because of the state of the delusion that she is in. But the other part of me, I think that she could do numbers for science if she just got her brain scanned.
What is going on?
I think a lot of questions would be answered in our society if we scanned her brain, because we could probably cure depression just by looking at her brain.
Yeah. 100%.
She has something that we as a world need.
I think if you broke open her brain, you would find that like straight up MDMA was like coursing through her synapses.
I was just thinking of that like monkey that just like
yeah, it's a monkey's symbols. That's her only thought at all times, I think.
Yeah, that's good. With her sheath.
There was literally a grease stain on her blazer from the pizza because her sheath was a thin piece of paper that was like leaking pizza grease all over her.
That is so funny that she thought she was going to be literally arrested for having pizza.
She thought we had to call legal because of her pizza sheath.
Pizza, but what kind of pizza was it? Did we ever find out?
It was plain cheese, regular cheese. And the crazy thing was, there was another point. My reaction to it, I feel like should have clued her in that like, hey, this is an unusual thing that I'm doing, but she didn't. And later on, she was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I should leave the pizza here, right? And I was like, yes. Yes, you should leave the pizza here. She was like, yeah, but it's not that big a deal. And I was like, no, you should definitely not bring the pizza into the toilets with you. You should leave it here. She was like, yeah, I guess you're right.
She's like, but what if I need to protect myself with my sheath?
Yeah, what if there's
an intruder? What if you're not in the seat of power and I see who comes in?
The seat of power in the stall. Yeah.
She has no idea that she's been in the seat of power the entire time. You know what I mean? I think she has been this entire time. Part of me wonders is if she knows what she's doing and she's doing it because she knows how it affects people. I just get curious by how, because there's no way you're just existing as this person as you are.
I don't know. I couldn't tell with her. It was one of those things where like, all right, this is gonna sound fucked up. My thing is, I do think that there's some people out there, and I say this as a person who's been through some traumatic things. I think that she had a traumatic backstory that she was concealing. I think some people's response to trauma is to just paper over it, like just put so many layers of like fake positivity and happiness that they can no longer, it's like I don't even feel that anymore. It's gone. I put it in the closet and then I painted over the door and it's sealed now.
It's sealed.
And it's just gone. And I can just be devoid of any kind of sadness or anything.
True.
And I'm like, I kind of think that's my theory on what was going on with her. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know.
Because my theory was, I was thinking about in SpongeBob when that guy's going around, he's like, my bones are made of glass and I've broken every part of my body. And then he unzips and he's like this fucking douchebag that's like, I'm making all this money, you bitches.
Yeah.
That's what Tracy's giving me, where I think she's just putting on this front. Meanwhile, she's laughing at everyone.
She's
being like, I'm seeing how this is affecting you and it's hilarious to me.
If that was the case, bravo, Tracy. I mean,
that's what I kind of applaud. I find it to be admirable.
If that's the case, then I'm like, you need to get out in front of the camera because you are a fantastic actress. Because she was real. I was like, this is not an act. You are an insane person. That was my read.
Again, I do think that if we cracked open her brain and dissected a little bit, I do think that she could create cures.
I think we need to find her and we need to donate her. She needs to be
in science
experimented on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. You guys, this has been another episode of the Welp Reviews with our fabulous
Juicy J.
Juicy fucking J, you guys. Thank you again. Tune into our page, Third Strike Productions. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Jess. We're out here. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
You guys, that was so fucking funny. Like,
Was that funny?
I was sitting there laughing my ass off.
You guys?
It was so good.
Okay, cool. I was like, is this any of this interesting? I
No,
don't
it
even
was
know
so
what's happening.
good, you guys.
It definitely is, dude. That was amazing.
Right, flying on the set.
Camera speed, down production, take one.